There you go.
Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. It's our so long day. I am in the best mood today. I don't even know why. I just woke up in an amazing mood. Literally just, well, I don't think there's anything that could bring me down today. I'm in a proper like, hi. Yeah, Paul says I did this morning. I've been in the shop, I'm cleaning, I'm sorting, I'm like a little whirlwind. I'm proper in a good mood today. Probably because my back's feeling a bit better, touch wood. Back's feeling a bit better, the sun's out. I mean, it's scorchio hot out there. I probably should put a little bit more clothes on before I came online, but I was like, oh, it's too hot. Not doing it. Not doing it. Who's there today, guys? Who's around?
We've got Wendy so far.
Hi, Wendy.
Just waiting for everyone else to come.
Cool. We'll just give everybody a few minutes to come online. We're going to do Dresden Plate today. It's a really traditional block, but some of you might not have done it, so I thought I'd take you through that. What else have I got? There's a few things to tell you first. Right, there's some more fabrics gone into the clearance section on the website, again because we're having a sort out, so anything that's got little bits left on is going in the clearance. So on our website it's not under fabric, it's under the sale and clearance section, and then there's a one on there that says clearance fabrics, and then there's another one that says job lot fabrics. But in the clearance fabrics one there's loads of that have gone on there this morning. They're all sort of £7-8 a metre, and obviously you buy them in half metres like you do normally on the website. So check those out, particularly if you haven't used your code yet, although you can use your code every time, or the whole of this week, for the newsletter. So yes, those have gone on, and we were given these yesterday as well from it's freebies from one of our reps, from our lovely moda rep Steve. They're all like, when he brings us the fabric samples on the cards, we can kind of see all the different fabrics like actually printed out, and they're all the ones off his cards from last season, so you can see they're all like in little collections. So there's quite a lot of fabric there, but if I just open this one up, I don't want to open them all up because he's put them all together, but you can see if I open this one up, there we go. Okay, so like this one, you've got all this from the same range, okay, like that, in a little roll. So they're probably like fat 8 size, that sort of size. So we're going to give these away. We've done them into like 4 bundles. So like you've got 3 bundles of, that's all the Clover Meadow there. And you've got like 5 or 6 in each one. Another 3 bundles there. This is a bundle, and there's another 3 bundles there. So we're going to do a challenge post running through till Monday. And then we'll draw 4 winners this time, and you'll each get a bundle. I'm going to do it at random, okay? You can't say I want this one or I want that one. I'm just going to go, right, this bundle is getting that name, etc, etc. So I'm going to pop a little challenge post onto the Facebook page later on this afternoon, and I want you to show us your scrappy projects, okay? Whether that's you've done mile a minute, or string quilting, or you've made a thread catcher out of scraps, or you've used little tiny scraps to make something beautiful, like a needle holder or something. What do you use your scraps for? That box of stuff that we end up hanging on to, show us your scraps, okay? So that's what I want you guys to do, is to I'll pop a challenge, like I said, pop a challenge post up, and then post us your scrappy pictures, okay? What do you do with your scraps? And then on Monday we'll pick 4 winners, okay, for freebies. Just thought it'd be a nice way of you guys having a little bit of fabric. So I'm gonna pop those out of the way. So who's there? Is everybody coming online?
Yeah, so you got Jenny. She says she loves the oranges.
Yeah, they're pretty, aren't they? Yeah.
We've got Christine, Kate,
lovely,
Marilyn, Tina.
Fabulous. That's lovely to see you all. So we're going to have a go at Dresden Plate today. Like I said, it is a really traditional block. I spent about 2 hours last night trying to work out if we could do Dresden plates with our 9-degree ruler. You can't do one that fits on a 12-inch square. Didn't matter what I did, didn't work. You can do it, but it comes out big. It comes out like that. I mean, it would be an amazing centerpiece of a quilt, but it does come out really big. So you will need, if you're going to do Dresden Plate, you're going to need a Dresden ruler. Now some of you may have them, okay, lying around, or I've done a paper template which you can purchase off the website with the pattern as usual. I've done a paper template which you could transfer onto some card or some template plastic and use that to cut out the blades of the Dresden. Okay, that paper template will only be for the 12.5. If you want to make like this one, this was much bigger, because this block is that size. So I don't know what that comes up at. Actually, what size did that block come up at? I think they're like 20. Yeah, they're like 22-inch blocks, these ones. So I obviously used different sizing for that, and I did use a ruler. But I've done a template, paper template, so if you want to make one for your isolation quilt that'll fit on a 12.5-inch block, it'll work. Okay, so as you can see, I made lots of versions last night, trying to play with the sizes and trying to make it right, but it didn't work. The one I did with this, I did all in paper. I cut it all out in paper first rather than use fabric. And it almost covered the dining room table. It made a beautiful circle with the paper. It would be really nice as like a single one on a playmat or the centre of a quilt. But yeah, the angles aren't just quite. I don't know if you can see. Like when you line them up, can you see the angles are wrong? So you just can't see the ruler here is at a different degree angle to the Dresden. So yeah, it just didn't work. So, well, it did work, just not for a 12.5-inch block. So we're gonna have to stick with the ruler. I did try for you girls to see if I could get it to work with that, but no so much luck. So you're gonna need, now I would cut a background square, okay, because we're gonna applique these Dresdens onto this. I cut 13.5 inches because I'm gonna stitch on the Dresdens afterwards, applique them on. I just think it gives me a little bit of wiggle room, so I cut a 13.5-inch square, which once it's appliqued I will then square it up. It just means if it moves slightly when you're stitching, you've got that play, okay? So you're going to need a background square, like that. And from your assorted scraps, you're going to need 20 blades, and that's what I'm calling these pieces, okay? I'm going to show you how to cut them in a minute. I've already cut 20 out. Okay, on the Dresden ruler we are going to use the 4.5-inch line, okay, which is this one here. Hopefully Drew's getting that. Okay, you can make them bigger, but if you make them bigger they don't fit on a 12.5. Okay, so 4.5 is what you want, and you want 20 of them. So I've just cut them in out of an assortment of scraps that I had left over from the other blocks. I am literally down to my, not even the dregs of dregs now. So I think this might have to be the last block that I do in this colourway for the isolation quilt. I might have to start doing it in a different colourway. So 20 of those, and like I said, we will have a template for it. But I'm going to show you how to line it up on some scrap fabric. So any comments there, Drew? Just while I give this a very quick press because it's gone a bit wonky.
Marilyn says, hi, sorry I'm late.
Hi lovely, how are you? Hopefully you're okay.
Catherine says, hi.
Hi Catherine.
Linda Head says trouble connecting.
Oh, Lind. We've had real trouble with Wi-Fi in the shop today though. It's been absolutely horrendous. Trying to download orders and we were just like, this is ridiculous. It's so slow. So I don't know if it's something going on in the area, Lind. Might be. So I'm just going to give myself a straight edge. There we go. Like that. Now, you can cut them individually, you can cut them folded like this. I actually stacked my fabrics up, sort of 2 or 3 fabrics, so I was cutting 5 or 6 at a time, okay? But I'm just going to run through how we cut them, okay? So I've given myself a nice straight line here, and I'm going to put, for a 12.5-inch block, which is what we want for the isolation, I'm going to put my 4.5-inch line, can you see, just here. Hopefully you can see that, Grobes, okay? Just there, the 4.5-inch line along that straight edge. And I'm going to move over to get as much, so I'm not wasting as little fabric as possible, okay? And then I'm going to go up one side, like that, across the bottom, okay? And then I'm going to turn my fabric. So if I wasn't doing this on camera, I would actually have stood up and walked around the table so I didn't have to move the fabric. Okay, and then go down that side. So I've relined it up and gone down that side. So I've got 2 little blades like that. Okay. Now you can, there's lots of different versions of Dresden Plate, you know, sometimes it's called Grandmother's Fan, sometimes it's called Dresden Plate, sometimes it's called a Dresden Flower. Sometimes they've got a circular top to them, which is the flower version. We're going to do what I call the spiky version, which is the Dresden Plate. Okay, so I've got all my little blades here. And what I'm going to do, I'll just give that one a press actually, because that one's gone a weeny bit wonky. We're going to go over to the machine and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Actually, I'll show you very quickly. I'll just iron that one quickly here so you can see close up. We're going to stitch this line here, the wider bit of the blade. Okay, so I'm going to fold it in half like that, right sides together, and I'm just going to stitch down 1/4 inch down there. Okay, so that I'm going to do that on all of the blades. So whip over to the machine. So who's there? Who's having a chat? Anybody?
Linda says I'm here at last, sorry.
Hi, Lind. Okay, right, so I'm just going to pop this under the machine like that. I'll find my pedal because it's what got walkabouts. And it's a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm just going to stitch along. Okay. Let's have that one on. And then I'm just going to feed these in one by one all the way down. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit laborious, I'm afraid, girls, because there's 20 of them to do. But I wanted to, you know, just going to have to watch me sew for a bit. So what are you all up to? Who's excited for the final of Sewing Bee tonight? I am. Who do we think is going to win? I'm hoping it's Claire. I've got a feeling it's going to be Nicole though. So, but yeah, I'm hoping it's Claire. So what about you guys? What do you think? And what are you doing? What are you up to on these beautiful sunny days? Are you out and about? Well, not out and about, you know, but out and about-ish. We're trying to get there. Like I said, we're spending today trying to get the shops in some sort of order. The boy's going to be, I've snaffled them to build me some new shelves today so we can get some of the fabrics sorted, because we've got Hachanda tomorrow, early, 7 AM and 10 AM, the 2 shows. So Sarah's going to be Skyping in. We've sent the videos in and then Sarah will be Skyping in to the actual studio, and then it will be crazy packing for a few days as it is always, and then what after the packing? What then? Then of course Monday we're still doing our 1 o'clocks, but we're going to be you can start coming and doing click and collect if you want. Okay, so anybody there? Anybody chatting, Drew?
Suzanne says I hope Claire, I'm hoping it Claire too, if I can talk.
Yeah.
Jenny says I hope Claire will win, but I agree mostly will be Nicole.
Yeah, I've got a feeling she's going to, isn't she? I don't like her. I don't know why I don't like her either. She just, she pushes my buttons.
And Nikki England agrees as well. It's probably going to be.
Probably Nicola. Nicole, not Nicola, isn't it, Nicole?
Jenny says I'm fighting with the pineapple block.
Sorry?
Jenny says she's fighting with a pineapple block.
Fighting with a pineapple block. Oh, bless you. See, I did a pineapple quilt years and years ago, but I did it foundation piecing. Claire said when she did her tutorial the other day, did it with rulers, didn't she? So I've not ever done it with a ruler. I've only ever done it foundation piecing. There we go. That's the last one. You right there, Drew?
I'm trying to push my chair back.
He's all stuck on something. He's all caught up on something.
Tension lead.
Right, okay, so I'm just going to snip these apart. Sorry, this is a bit dull, this bit, but we're just pootling on.
Heather says, I think Claire is really spot on. Have you seen Nicole's jewellery website?
No, I haven't. I haven't had a look at it. Well, I will later though. Yeah, I just think she's the most competent sewer. I mean, I don't think she's necessarily the most imaginative, but although I loved her transformation last week, that Star Warsy with the piping and everything was very haute couture, wasn't it? I'd see it on a runway. But yes, so what I'm going to do now is so the bit that's on the fold, this corner here that's on the fold, okay, so you can see that's the folded bit. I'm just going to snip that bit off. So I'm going to clip each one of those corners. So again, I've got 20 to go through, so you have to bear with me.
Okay. Caroline says, I'm in the middle of pegging peg bag.
A Peggy.
Peggy peg.
A Peggy peg bag.
I can't say that. Sue says, hello, been busy with my UFOs, but itching to start some new project.
Something new, nice. Oh, I know, sometimes you just need something new, don't you? It's really good to get your UFOs finished, but sometimes you just go, no, I need a bit of inspiration, I need something new. So, sorry, lots of me just clipping. So, there we go, get in there, nearly there. And keep going. So yeah, I've just rallied all the boys and told them as soon as we're done here, we're going to go over the shop and move shelves and build shelves and move stuff around. So need some muscle. Right. Okay. We're now going to what's the word? Press. Oh, how can I want to forget the word press? Hang on. Let me just open this out a second. Make life a bit easier on myself. There we go. We're going to press these out. Okay. So you want to turn this piece inside out like that. And then very carefully with your pokey tool or whatever it is you use, just press out that point, okay? Now, when we're actually ironing these, you want to kind of get that seam there right down the centre of the blade, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron one properly like that, and then I'm going to iron one skew width so you can see why you need to do that, okay? So I've pressed that one out and I can repress it. So if I just merrily press along, okay, I mean that's very exaggerated, but can you see this is what you're looking for, is that really nice point. But if you don't get that seam running down the centre, you end up with wonky blades, okay? So you just want to make sure that that seam is right down the centre like that, and repress that one, okay, so that you end up with little Dresden blades like this, okay? It's as simple as that. There's nothing complicated about Dresdens. You know, it's one of those things where it's definitely one of those things that look harder than they actually are, but they are really, really effective. I'm going to just push this out. Okay, keep pushing a few out. I'm not going to sew this whole thing because I've got something there I can show you how to attach to. So I'm just going to sew a few, just iron a few of them out. Okay, so that I can show you how they go together. Who else is there? Anybody else having a chat today?
Kate says I've been I've been trying to sort out my workroom. Oh my god! Have rescued 2 storage boxes from the shed.
Oh bless you. Is that Kate Varello?
Yeah.
Eileen, lovely. I saw your message earlier. It's fine for you still to bring your quilt in. Yours was one already on the list, so I factored yours in. Okay, so you can still bring it in. It's absolutely fine. Okay, it's just we're not taking any more that haven't already been booked in, but yours was already booked in. So if you want to drop it off still, that's okay. Okay, we've got so many quilts there now. I mean, it's just crazy the amount we're having to do. So we have, you might have seen the post yesterday. We've closed the books until the end of July with quilts at the moment. If you've already spoken to me or Sara and booked it in, that's fine. You're on the list. But we're not taking any new ones now, quilts, until the end of July. Okay, because we just haven't got the time. The amount of that are coming in. Well, I think I could employ somebody full-time just to stand there and quilt. And with the social distancing all in place, it means that Sara and I are going to have to go in the evenings and on Sundays and all. so that we can use Daphne. So we just need to slow it down and catch up a bit on them, okay? Because even though we're getting, you know, a few a week done, we've got so many and it's crazy. Okay, so yeah, if you've already spoken to me about your quilts and you're due to drop them off, that's fine, but we're not taking any new ones now until end of July. We'll open the book back up for end of July. Okay, so that's enough of that. That's enough of me ironing. You don't need to see any more of that. Right, I would now lay these out. Okay, I'd lay them out in an order that I like. Okay, it doesn't have to be, you know, you can do the same amount of each, you know, and go round and round in a circle. I quite like it when they're a weeny bit random, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, we're now going to sew them together into pairs. If you're doing them in a specific order, you can sew them in that order. I'm going random, so I'm just going to do pairs. Okay, so I'm going to line them up like that. You see, so I've lined up those points there, and this down that side there, I lined it up, and I'm going to stitch from here all the way down 1/4 inch. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to line up my points and that point there, line up that edge, and I'm going to stitch down 1/4 inch. And I'm going to do that with all you do that with all of the blades. Okay. Okay, so. There we go. And again, it's so nice and easy, this. I would back stitch just a weeny bit at the top of the blade just to stop them coming apart, okay? Go to my first pair. Jen, if you're there, I found that button. It's so much easier because it's like hands-free. Okay, so I'm just going to add another couple together.
Sandra said hello both, went home, had a lovely trip to the skip.
Ah, nice! Oh, that was exciting for you. You'll have a trip to the skip.
The fish and chips at Barry Island will see you all we'll see you all the way through later.
Ah, nice. Oh, bless. Fish and chips on Barry Island. Oh. Mind you, the sun is amazing out there today. I think I might have my lunch outside. Okay, so I'm just going to do a few, and all I've done is, I don't need to do all of them now, you don't need to see it all. Okay. Come on, let's just snip those apart like that. So I've just sewn them in pairs. And then I'm just going to iron them out. And you want to iron them out all one way. Okay, like this. So I've ironed that one out that way. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with this one. They lie flatter. If you've got all those seams lying the same way, which I've just done that the wrong way, haven't I? Don't. It's turning it wrong. Okay, do that the other way. There we go. Okay, so that they're all lying the same way. So that one, if I do on the back, it's going to go that way. There we go. Oh, that was really hot.
Nikki asked, have you put the knitting fabric from the knot bag on the website?
Yes, the knitting fabric is now on. Yes, it's in the fabric section under the, you know, 1/2 metre on the bolt bit, and it's called Knit Together. It's all on there, the whole section, love. So, you would then add your, let me get this background piece so that you can see this a bit better. Okay, so we've got my pairs. I'm then going to add my pairs together, okay, like this, to make, and you just keep going. You just keep adding them until you've got your circle. Okay, I'm not going to do all that now because I want to show you how to actually stitch it on. Okay, but you just keep adding them together until you've got your circle.
So it looks like a sunflower.
It does look a bit like a sunflower, yes. Okay, so you keep going round and round and round until you've got your circle. Don't worry about this bit in the middle. I'm going to show you about that in a moment. Okay, so put these away, out of the way. Get this out of the way because I'll finish that one later. Now, where is it? Now, I don't want to waste these ones that I played around with. Okay, so I'm going to do something a bit different than that. because I don't want to waste them. But how you put them on is entirely up to you. Okay, so this one, can you see it was too big for the 12.5 inch? By the time I'd put that on, and this is a 13-inch piece of fabric, by the time I put it on and I lost my seam allowance, I'd lose my points. Okay, so I'm not going to use that one. And these were even bigger still because I was playing around with sizes. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put them in the corners. So I've done 5 in a little set like that, and rather than have a circle in the centre, I'm going to put these in the corners like this. Okay, and then when I quilt it, I'm going to do some like heavy quilting in here, okay, and do a pattern of quilting. And I thought, well, how we actually attach it to the backing fabric is exactly the same, so it doesn't matter that it's not a circle. I just thought I'd show you, I'd use these up rather than go to waste. Okay, so if it's going to be a circle, you would just do that very quickly. If it's going to be a circle, in half again, find those centre lines like that, okay, by ironing a line in, okay, and then if I just use this one again for now, I would then line up my points. Can you see? I'd use that, so I've got my line there between the blade, line there between the blade, and then I'd line that up to make that nice and central, okay, or you know, however you want to put the blades on, but that's how I would do it. Is I would make it nice and central and then add them all on once I'd done the whole of the circle. Okay, but like I said, I'm going to use these ones up because why not? Let's not waste them, and they'll make an interesting block as well. So I'm going to pin this on just to keep it nice and flat. Okay, like this. How you would now attach it is up to you. If you like hand sewing, you can, just like we did with needle turn, you can invisible slip stitch this on, okay? If you like machine blanket stitching or hand blanket stitching, you could blanket stitch these on, or you can just top stitch them on, really nice and carefully, top stitch them on. That's what I'm going to do with this block, okay? I'm going to pick a point on the ruler, on the machine, and we're going to top stitch these on, and then I'm going to show you how to do the circular bit. So I'm just going to line this one up here like that. So all I'm doing is lining up the raw edges of the blade with the raw edge of the block. There we go, like this, and I'm going to stitch these down. Okay, anybody there? Anybody chattering away at me?
Carrie says hello, apologies for lateness.
Hi Carrie. Okay, so I'm going to just top stitch this down. Okay, let's get that little iron. It's getting in my way today. It seems to be the cord is all over the place. So I wouldn't use your 1/4 inch foot on this one, okay? I would use a normal foot or an open toe foot if you've got one, which I think I've got in here, maybe. Thought I had an open toe foot. An open toe foot is actually easier. Let me see if it's in here. Okay, so I'll show you what that one is like. Most machine, there we go. So an open toe foot looks like that. Okay, can you see it's really nice and open in the centre? It means you can see what you're stitching lots. I also discovered that I had, we're going to go off on tangent slightly. What's that one about? I had to look it up last night. Can you see that? It's for Echo, free motion Echo quilting, apparently. So yeah, I was like, I don't know what that one is. We're going to have to find out. I also discovered on my lovely new machine, on this model, it's got like a whole, it's got special settings for free motion. It basically kind of helps with free motion, doing it all, not for you, but it's all got special settings on it, which I'm really excited about. So, oh no, there we go, okay. So let's clip that one on, and by putting the open toe, you don't have to use an open toe foot, you can use whatever, but by putting the open toe foot on, I can really see, like that, really see where I'm stitching. Oh, excuse me, hay fever's bad. So I'm going to just, in fact actually that's sitting really nice on the edge of that fabric. I'm just going to take it quite slowly and I'm just going to stitch down the edge, very edge of that Dresden blade. Okay, and I'm stopping in the seam and pivoting like that. Ooh, yeah, no, I've gone a bit wonky. There we go. Damn it, that went a bit wonky. That was way too close to the edge. There we go, that's better. Okay, I'll work my way round. Just work my way round, okay? And that's all there is to it. I'm just top stitching. You could, like we've done before, do that little invisible slip stitch like you do with needle turn. That's absolutely fine if you don't want to see the stitches. It doesn't bother me seeing the stitches, I don't mind that at all. Okay, there we go, all the way down. And it's as simple as that to attach them, okay? You don't need to do any, you know, you could do a blanket stitch, you could do a decorative stitch, you could do whatever you like, but that's the simplest way. Okay, any questions there or anything?
Sandra says, wow, you're lucky with those extra feet.
I know, I've got all sorts of random things in the box I found. So, there we go. That's now attached, okay? Like that. As you can see, I went really close there. Actually, I'm not going to unpick it, it's fine. This is very messy here, as you can see. So we're going to applique over that, okay? I've just realised I didn't grab the grab the bowl that I used. Let me just grab the bowl that I used, okay? And sorry, any comments there, Drew? Just while I grab what I need. I've just realised I haven't got the bits I need with me.
No.
Any comments? Anybody chattering?
No.
Talk to us, ladies, otherwise you're going to get silence for a few minutes while I find the bit of paper that I need. I don't know what I've done with it. I've dabbed it down.
Carrie says she's liking this.
Pardon?
Carrie said, I'm liking this.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely. I like a Dresden. Right, I use freezer paper, okay? So, let me just move this out of the way. And on the template, the blade template that I've drawn for you, I've drawn the circular templates as well. I found a bowl that fitted, okay? Luckily I had this little bowl and it fitted. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw round it on freezer paper with a pencil. Like that. Okay? And I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to cut it out on the line, okay? Now, if you do it like this layout, you're only going to need a quarter of the circle. But if you do it as a full circle, you're going to need a whole, do you see what I mean? If you do it as a full circle, you're going to need a whole one of these on the centre, okay? So I'm going to cut this out like this. You could do this with Bondweb as well, okay? You could actually applique on with Bondweb if you want to blanket stitch or something like that. But I thought I'd show you this method because it's slightly different, okay? Cut my circle template out of freezer paper. Do you remember freezer paper's the one that's got the wax on it, okay? And then I need a piece of fabric, which is going to be my centre circle. Move this all out of the way. I'm getting myself in a right pickle today. Whew. Don't know what's going on. And we're going to iron this. Now normally freezer paper would go on the front, okay, when we're doing needle turn, but this time you're going to put it onto the back, okay? And you could fussy cut this if you want. In fact, I'm going to, with those whales right in the centre. I've got the wax side down, okay? I'm just going to gently press that on to just adhere it to the back of the fabric, okay? It will peel off really easily. You can use this 3 or 4 times. And now I want to cut this out, and you want to cut it out about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch bigger, okay? Like this. You could of course just needle turn a circle on if you want, but you know, that's my dog going with me. I've got the back doors open so you can probably hear her. There we go, just cutting out this a bit bigger. All the way round. Okay, and again on the template with the pattern, I've done you 2 sizes of circles, so you can go big like a sunflower, you could go small like a small flower. You then want to clip right up to the paper. Don't go into the paper, or you know, it's like I'm talking like 1 thread or so away from the paper, and you're going to clip all the way round. Okay, like this. And just gently clip. Okay, while I'm clipping, anybody talking, anybody there?
Sandra asked when I'm going back to work. I have no idea when I'm going back to work.
No, don't know when the restaurant's going to be open yet, do we?
No. It's probably be another month or 2.
Yeah. I mean, Heenas have been doing sort of takeaway and stuff, haven't they? I know their little bit on the side, which I can never remember what it's called, Ishka. Ishka on the side is still doing doing some bits and pieces, but yeah, it's the actual Heenas is actually sort of shut at the moment, isn't it? But you can go to the Ishka bit, which is the bit that's opposite, but it's like you know, a pickup type thing. So I've now clipped all the way round. Okay, now I'm going to use the edge of the iron and the edge of that fabric against the edge of the freezer paper like that, and push those in. Okay, now watch your fingers and do it little bit by little bit, but you're going to push that, you're going to iron against the freezer paper. Okay, so I'm ironing against that freezer paper. See, that one there is just, get in there, so give it a shake because it gets hot. Okay, so I'm just all the way around the circle like that. And like I said, you could just bond a web one on. That is absolutely fine if you want to you know, that raw edge applique look. But I just thought this was a different technique I hadn't shown you, so just be careful you don't move that. Okay, and just make sure that is that paper. Okay, so slow and steady. It's actually much easier on an ironing board that doesn't get so hot. Okay, so I'm then going to flip it over and make sure that's all tucked in and really press. In fact, I should have starched this fabric first, really. That would have helped. If I'd have starched it. In fact, actually, Drew, can you pass me that starch there? Just there. I can still starch it now. It will help a bit. Okay, give it a bit of a starch. Then from this side, make sure all those bits are tucked under, like that, all the way round. See, that one's kind of trying to escape. Let's get that one down. Give this a really good press and you get this really nice, neat, well, you do if you do it properly. Get that back under there. This seems fiddly, but it's really not, I promise. It's actually a lot easier than I'm making it look at the moment. There we go, got it. That's better. I've just got a couple of wayward ones that just do not want to go in. I didn't cut it quite big enough. The more, that's because these are slightly shorter than over here, they're trying to escape. Come on, over you go. Why are you being a pain? There we go, got it, I think. Got it. Aha, there we go. So really, really good press like that. So I've got a nice, neat circle. And you really do want to press the hell out of it, okay? Press the heck out of it, okay? Like that, all right? I can now take the paper out. That freezer paper has now done its job, okay? And I've got a lovely circle ready to applique over. So I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do is turn this over because I've got another square. Have I got another square cut out? Yeah, hang on, there we go. There we go. So there's a piece of my background fabric. Imagine this was my my square, and that was a full. Imagine that was a full one. Okay, this would then sit right the way over the top like that, and I could just top stitch that down just like I did on the blades. Okay, so I would just around the very edge. Again, you could blanket stitch or you could needle turn it under. You know, just slip stitch it in. Okay, there is a small because that's quite a small circle, so I quite like the big circle. I quite like that sort of sunflowery looking, but I have on the template done a smaller circle which just fits over, okay? And you would just stitch that down just like we did these. Okay, that's Dresden Plate. It's really, really easy. Okay, there's very little, apart from that initial turning these through, stitching down and turning them through, it's all just straight lines and then a bit of top stitching. So have a little go. You can play around with them as well. So if you wanted to do this layout, okay, I would just cut this in 4 like that. So I'd cut it into 4 and then I can attach that on like that. Can you see that? Okay. So I could, so I've got a little quarter circle, so I would have just cut this into 4 and again attach that on and just top stitched on to cover any of those rough bits there. Any questions? Anything anybody wants me to go through again? Is it all making sense?
No.
Everybody okay?
No, Nikki said the 4th of July here in England is going to be chaos. When the pubs and stuff open.
When the pubs and all reopen, yeah, absolutely. That would have been my eldest son and future daughter-in-law's wedding day that they had to cancel it. 4th of July was they were going to get married, but they've had to cancel it. But they're going to get married again next year now. They've got a new date now. So yeah, I imagine it is going to be a little bit crazy when they open those pubs. I haven't really missed the pub. I've missed my friends. I've missed the reason I used to go to pubs. Missed meeting up with the girls and meeting up with people. But I don't actually miss the pub. I don't actually miss the pub at all. I thought I would and I haven't, but never mind. Yeah, it's the social thing I think I've missed from pubs, but certainly not the pubs themselves.
Diana asked, but would you lose 1/4?
Would I lose 1/4? Sorry, lovely, what do you mean by that?
When you cut the circle into quarters?
When I'd cut the circle into quarters, no, so I'd cut, so imagine I'm not going to cut it, so imagine you've cut it like that, so I would make the whole one and cut it. Okay, so I've got one like that all tucked in ready, and then you would tuck that in like that, because this block I'm gonna just do like that. Okay, I'm just gonna do it as like 2 grandmother's fans, and then one of the other quarters I'd put over here. Okay, like that on that block. Okay, obviously if you're gonna do, I'm gonna do the other one as a full circle, and I would use a whole circle for that one. Is that what you meant? I'm not quite sure what you meant, love.
She says we'll not lose 1/4 inch when you make 4 squares put together. Yes,
you do use a quarter. Yes, you would use so if you made 4 of these and put them together, which is what we did here. Okay, so imagine if I took that off this. Okay, so that is that there, slightly smaller, but that there. Okay. We quilt as you go'd, which is why we've got these here, okay? But you could join them together and then put a whole circle over the top if you want to. But you might decide that actually, because that's a 12.5 inch, if you're doing it for the isolation, you don't want a circle, because I'm just using these up. Like I said, I'm going to do that on that one, okay? Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that's what you meant.
On the 4th of July is Nikki's wedding anniversary and Linda's.
Oh yeah, Linda Heads is her 50th wedding anniversary. We said that was it was going to be really lovely because Rory and Cara were getting married, and it was a good omen because Linda and Bri had been married for 50 years, which is a hell of an achievement, Mrs. You'd get less for murder rather. Less for life, less for murder. Less for life. But yeah, hell of an achievement, 50 years, my God. What a feeling I've been married this year. 15 years this year, is it? Yeah, it must be 15 years this year. Wow. About time for a new one as well, I think. Whew, it's been around too long. Trade him in for a younger model now.
Carolyn asked, is the template on the website?
It will be in about 10 minutes. As soon as I left my laptop over the shop, so as soon as I get back over to the shop, I will pop the template and the pattern on the website for you, and it'll be £2 in the isolation quilt section as normal.
Yeah, Carrie's wedding anniversary is the 5th of July.
Ah, cool. Oh, this is obviously an auspicious time of the year.
But no.
Anything else?
No.
No? Lovely. Fab. Right, I will pop a challenge post up, show me scraps. There are more clearance fabrics gone on the website. Sarah is back tomorrow, and she's going to show you fabric bowl covers. On how to, with elastic, and how to cover your bowls. You know, particularly if you're sat out in the garden, you've made a nice salad or something, you want to stop insects, they go over round your bowls, like, well, bigger bowls than that, obviously, but round your bowls. So, how many times am I going to say the word bowls? Oh, good grief, I need to shut up now, don't I? Sorry. Told you I was in a good mood. Cool, I will see you on Friday. We're back on Friday, and I'm going to show you Scrappy Heart Log Cabin, because we've had a request for that. So we've got the pattern for it, but I'm going to take you through the step-by-steps with that, so you can see how it goes together. So I will see you Friday. Yeah, take care, guys. Bye.